الله الرحمن الرحيم.
The third thing that the Imam says, and all three of these, in this third point he says three things, and all three are linked to one another. He says, السحر والكهانة والإيمان بالنجوم. Three things: magic and witchcraft, fortune telling, and believing in omens. And the third, having faith, having trust upon the astrologers or what they see in astrology. Let's take fortune telling first. See, when we talk about fortune telling, it's not necessarily a crystal ball and tarot cards and this is going to happen to you. That's part of it. But what we face in our day-to-day is mostly the iman upon omens. Culturally, there are certain things that we won't do. So, don't hand me a knife. It's going to cause me problems in life. Don't give me a pair of scissors. Don't give them to me at night. Don't walk this way at night. Turn that slipper and put it back the right way round. The various things that we believe. This cat walked past me. This bird flew past me. All of these omens, the Holy Qur'an speaks about them. Surah Yasin. We recite Surah Yasin every single week. It says, قَالُوا طَائِرُكُمْ مَعَكُمْ. It says, your ta'ir, your omens are from you. Don't try and think they're from God. Don't try and think that somehow you have managed to crack something here. They're all from you. They're nothing to do with God. Because at that time, the Arabs of the time would believe that if a bird flew from their left across them, that now their journey was doomed and they wouldn't go on the journey. So the Holy Qur'an is saying, no. قَالُوا طَائِرُكُمْ مَعَكُمْ. Your omens are from you. Don't try and place them with God or somehow that this is, and then the narrations come. الطَّيْرَةُ shirkun. Says the one that believes in omens. Says all of this is shirk. Those who believe this is shirk. I try and attribute all the ill in my life to these things. You know what? I told you I shouldn't have done that. I should have straightened that shoe, or I should have done this. That's why I've got this problem. So the first thing is that reliance upon omens. Having bad omens, shirk. But on the flip side, taking good, so a good omen from something, that's recommended. Rather than looking at everything in a negative way, to do good tafa'ul, to do good omens. So when you're presented with a situation, when you walk out your house and it's raining, instead of saying, oh God, it's raining again, say alhamdulillah, Allah is raining His mercy. My day is beginning with rain, with His mercy. And this was displayed in the life of the Holy Prophet. In the peace treaty of Hudaybiyah, when one of the mushrikeen came across, the Holy Prophet said to him, what is your name? He said, my name is Sahl ibn Amr. The Holy Prophet did tafa'ul with his name, took a good omen from his name. He said, Sahula amruna. Says, our task has become easy. When the Holy Prophet sent emissaries to Persia, to Khusru Parviz, to invite him towards Islam, when he saw the letter, he tore it up, he threw it on the ground, and then he gave the messenger that had come from the Holy Prophet a bag of dirt. He said, go give this to your so-called prophet. When this person brought back this bag of dirt and gave it to the Holy Prophet opened it and said, Alhamdulillah, the earth of Persia shall come under the control of Islam. This is about when you're presented with difficult situations in life, don't go all the way to the negative first. Look for the positive in it. Do good tafa'ul in regards to things. You get delayed for somewhere, you want to be on time, you get delayed. So, well, I tried everything in my power. Maybe this delay was something good, and then you get along the way and you see there was an accident and you've just missed it. So this is, when one is positive about these things, then it has a positive effect on an individual. So the first thing that draws one to the dark side is having this trust in fortune telling, in omens. The second is having iman in astrology, in what the astrologers say. That I love to read my horoscope. I'm like, what's going to happen to me today? You know, no matter who you are, you get sent your horoscope, you're like, yeah, this is quite accurate. And so certain people then go deeper and deeper into this science or study, to the point where now they start to base their lives around it. You see these, I don't know if I even should say the name, but the Imamiya gentry that comes in Urdu. Many of you may not know what it is, but those from Pakistan will. It's all in Urdu. This, do this, on this day you're going to get knee pain, on this day you're going to get an ear, your ear's going to fall off because Saturn's in the sign of whatever. You know, all of this stuff is in there. And all of this is by and large rubbish. If one has total iman in that and thinks, oh my God, my life's going to end this year, it's haram. And not only that, it will drag your soul, that your desires towards a very dark place that you won't be able to recover from. The third thing, and I on purpose left this to the last because we're really interested in this one, and that is sihr, magic. And sometimes our default position is, sometimes things go wrong in our life and it's like, someone did jadoo on me, that's it. Must have been someone who did magic on me. My marriage is falling apart. I don't want to look at my bad akhlaq. No. Someone did magic. There's got to be a ta'weez somewhere around here. And that's not to say that it is not true in some cases. We've dealt with many cases of these sort of things. The Holy Qur'an mentions it over 51 times. The word sihr, the magic, is used within the Holy Qur'an. Surah Al-Falaq, Surah Al-Nas, all references towards these types of magic. It's there. And we know that it started at least from the time of Sulayman alayhi salam, when a bunch of wizards or witches or magicians were together and they were doing all of this magic, and Sulayman alayhi salam took all of them and took their works and their books and their spells and he hid them away, he locked them away. But after his death, they found where Sulayman alayhi salam had hidden those books of magic, and again it took rise in society. Such that then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala sends down two angels, Harut and Marut, in Surah Al-Baqarah, to the people of Babel. He says that these two come down in order to teach the people the defense against this magic, this black magic that was being done. But they teach the people, but the people then deviate using that what they were taught to get to the core of what most magic originates from, and that is to cause discord between husband and wife. It's interesting that everything, the biggest attacks that come from the external sources, other than like ghayr Allah, these powers that are dark, occult, the first place they attack is the family unit. Just think about where else family units are being attacked. So the power that this magic has, fundamentally what they created it for was to cause discord between husband and wife, to create deviancy within a family. And so it's a reality that we can't escape from. And there are different types of magic, different kinds of magic. Someone comes to the sixth Imam, he says, why is Allah allowed this magic to occur? Why is Allah allowing this magic to happen? And the Imam gives him a reply. He says to him that, look, magic, like in the same way that a doctor comes to heal you, there are those that sit on the opposite side of the spectrum. I'm paraphrasing what the Imam is saying. He says there are others that sit on the opposite side of the spectrum. Then those that come to heal you are those that come to damage you, to destroy you. These are those that use magic. And then the Imam gives three different types of magic. He says the first type of magic, or the first method that they use in regards to magic, is that when you have good health, they try and bring illness to you. So they make you ill. When you have difficulty, or when you have ease, they try and bring difficulty through that magic in your life. The second thing is that they create illusions for you. The second type of magic is magic that is used for illusions, for tricking the eye into thinking that it saw something that really didn't actually happen, to deceive. And then the third type is the one that is used to manipulate the jinns, to capture them and to make them do your bidding and to go out and harm other people. And then there are many other offshoots of this that we have heard of, that manifest, but fundamentally all of them rotate around this one central point, and that is to hurt someone, to ruin their life. And anyone who takes part in magic, anyone who pays someone to do magic, anyone who associates with the magician, there is a darkness that will be created within them, from which they will not be able to crawl back. The one that does magic himself will 100% be destroyed. That individual his soul will be damaged irreparably. And you see it in the faces of those who do magic, who dabble in these things. And it's unfortunate to say we see it in our own communities. You don't get what you want, or you end up in a divorce, or you want someone to marry you, straight away find out who I can go to, and this person is going to do a ta'weez for me. Bring a piece of their clothing, bring their hair, bring a nail, bring something. And all these dark practices, they happen. But whoever takes part in that will be annihilated, will be destroyed. And you can see it on the faces of those people. Their faces change, their eyes change because of going and touching that darkness. Why? Because they have gone against the natural order. What is the natural order of existence? Ubudiyya and servitude towards Allah. يُسَبِّحُ لِلَّهِ مَا فِي السَّمَاوَاتِ وَمَا فِي الْأَرْضِ. When one breaks the natural order, then all of nature turns against that person. Everything. This is why they say the one that commits adultery, when he goes in the shower afterwards, every droplet of water that falls off his body sends la'na on him. Because everything in this universe is alive. Everything is moving towards Allah. Everything is in a state of ubudiyah. When you break the natural order, then one is damaged irreparably. And especially when they use sihr, they use magic. And so the learning of magic, the teaching of magic, the practicing of magic, all is haram, all is kufr. Yes, there are some occasions where one can learn magic, and that is to defeat magic. When one is at a level, people like Shaykh al-Baha'i learnt the dark magic in order to counter it, because at his time it had become so common. But those are specific times. For anyone else, it's haram. Because there is a darkness that you will touch from which you cannot come back. But how is it that we defend ourselves? It's not all doom and gloom. You know, people are like, why does God allow this? It's not fair. It's not fair. Why would God allow this? The answer is there are certain powers in this universe and certain levels of free will that give people the opportunity to manipulate those powers that are in existence. We always have a problem with the spiritual side of things, the things that we can't see. But you know, I never complain to God when I've eaten a piece of chicken that was a little bit too raw, and I'm like, why did God allow this to happen? Why did I end up with food poisoning? Because that's physical, but at the same time there is a whole realm of spiritual things that are happening, spiritual progression towards Allah, spiritual deviations away from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. There's a whole realm. So how do we defend ourselves? And we'll end on that point. The protection, we know, the mu'awazatayn, Surah Al-Falaq, Surah Al-Nas, defends a person. And by the way, I haven't done justice to this topic. There's a lot more, and each of these require an ashra in themselves to understand the intricacies of magic and countering it and all of that. It's a very interesting subject. But anyway, so mu'awazatayn, Surah Al-Falaq, Surah Al-Nas, Ayatul Kursi, recitation of Ayatul Kursi. Certain talismans, certain ta'weez. For example, many of you will wear hairs of Imam al-Jawad on your hand. That in itself is a ta'weez for protection against magic, against all of these things. Wearing the firoza and the aqiq, both have been mentioned in riwayat as being a defense against types of magic. And in that magic, you know, we'll also talk about hasad, ayn, people who have evil eye, nazar, all of these things. These things will defend you against that as well. And then the hadith is seen as a defense against the jinnat, one who is troubled by the jinns or is afraid of them. But we have many of these things that one can use to try and defend themselves against this difficulty. But the point is that the one who goes down this dark path goes and he touches that darkness. Especially these three that I've mentioned from the hadith of the Imam. At times it is irreparable damage to your soul, because you have gone against the natural order. And when one becomes used to going against the natural order, then they will commit atrocity after atrocity.
اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد